There ain't enough room in this town for the both of us. That was my cowboy standoff impression. What do you think of it? So I talk to my clients around this a lot, that competition is a good thing. There is room definitely in this town for the both of us and for many of your competitors, because ultimately competition leads to competitive advantage and ultimately means that there's going to be more growth in your marketplace. So the first thing is we don't want to feel intimidated by having competition, but we also don't want to take it for granted, and we don't want to just fly blindly without considering what your peers are doing. So there's a few things that many business owners in the service space ultimately don't do often enough. And one of those things is they don't do market research, because much like running in a race, if you're running on your own and you're just keeping your own pace, you're not quite sure of how everybody else might be traveling around you. However, if you're running next to somebody, you've got this measure, and typically that makes you run faster, sometimes to your own detriment. So be mindful of that. But we always need a yardstick. We need a measuring stick, a benchmark that allows us to make sure that we are actually on the right track. And that might actually mean that you are a thought leader. You are well above your peers. You're well in front of them. And that's ultimately a great thing. But unless you do the research, you're not going to be able to know whether you are or you aren't in the same ballpark. The first thing you need to do is come up with your top 3 competitors. Work out who in your marketplace, who in your sphere, or if you don't have any direct competitors, who is competing with your clients for their same dollars that they would spend if using your services or somebody else's. So we can come up with a series of people that we can then review and essentially see how they're traveling. Now, I don't want any of this BS that I don't have any direct competition. Whatever that might be, you definitely will have competition in some way, shape or form, because the reality is if your prospect is going to be spending money, they are considering spending that with somebody else as well, even if they're not directly in the same wheelhouse as you. Second thing, I want you to evaluate their social media, their website, anything that you can find on them on Google. And I want you to categorize from your perspective, putting yourself in your client's shoes, what do they do well? And what do they not do so well? I want you to ideally come up with at least 3 things for each. The third thing you're going to do is I want you to consider and benchmark yourself as objectively as possible based on the activities and actions that you're taking of how you feel you compare. Are you better? Are you about the same? Or are you behind? And this is going to allow us to work out what we need to do moving forward. I find this contrast works extremely well, and this forms a part of what we call our one-page business plan. I wrote a book on the subject. I've got a really simple one-page sheet that you can use to map out your business plan and your business, and it's only 1 page. None of this 40-page long and arduous bullshit, right? So if you want a copy of it, jump into the DMs and let me know with the words one-page business plan. Now, I'll send you a copy of it. I'll talk you through how to use it, and we're going to have a chat around what you can do to better understand your competitors, create your unique competitive advantage, and attract more of your ideal clients into your universe. We'll catch you soon.